We'll see. Let's transition over to baseball. So big news came out. World Baseball Classic is back.
It's
World Baseball
back,
Classic 2023
baby.
will come back in right before the start of the season in March. So instead of having a spring training, a lot of these players will then be playing in the World
Yep.
Baseball Classic. The host cities are, I have the groups and the host cities right here, so I'll pull it up right now. We have Taiwan, Japan, Phoenix, and Miami. The groups, Pool A, you have Netherlands, Cuba, Chinese Taipei, and Italy. Pool B, you have Japan, South Korea, Australia, China. Pool C, you have United States, Mexico, Colombia, Canada. Pool D, you have Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, and Israel. And then there's also 4 spots left in each, one
Yep.
in each pool for the qualifier rounds to top off those last few spots. Pool D will be played in Miami. Pool C will be played in Phoenix. Pool B will be played in Tokyo. And Pool A will be played in Taiwan, with the quarterfinals being in Miami and Japan, and the semifinals being in Miami, as well as the final itself being
In
in
Miami.
Miami. Miami is known for hosting this event. I think they've pretty much hosted every single game for every
No,
single
I think
one.
they had one in Orlando. They
Yeah.
had one in Orlando. They have fields in Orlando for.
They don't have a big field like this. Not big enough.
No,
No, they don't have a
Yeah.
major league field.
Yeah.
not a major league field. No.
Miami typically always hosts at least, the first round. 2017, the semifinals and finals were held in LA. They had it over there. So I'm glad to see they brought it over here. Home turf over here, Julian. We get to see those games here in Miami. Gabe, you definitely got to pull up a visit. Again, me and Julian, we went 2017 DR versus USA. That was probably one of the best games I ever went to in my life, and
It was the
I'm
best.
not even exaggerating. That game was amazing, and I still remember everything that went down.
Yeah,
With DR being that zip and came back to winning the game.
I've never seen such an atmosphere for baseball in my life. Like it was, I felt like I was at a college game. It was insane. It was like never seen an atmosphere like that.
But yeah, I'm already excited for this year. Y'all already know who I'm rooting for. Got to bring out the flags on this one. We out here, Team PR. We doing this. Last 2 baseball classics, we took second place, unfortunately, but we made it to the
Got
final
smoked.
round, and this is it, man. This is it. We got some more experienced players. 2017, we had a lot of newbies on the field, and they performed well, man. Uh, I don't know how you feeling, guys. Who do you guys? Who are your favorites?
I
Who do you guys
mean,
have
P-
as the
It,
underdog?
PR is a
Gabe, you
tough.
can go
That's a tough
first.
pool. That's a tough pool, man. Because you're gonna be facing Venezuela. You're gonna be facing Dominican Republic. Those are big teams. They have tons of
And yeah,
players.
here's the thing. So
Not
the
the P-
top 2 from each pool will move on to the next round. So
Yeah,
there's 2 teams
it's
from
pretty
each pool moving
standard.
on.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's gonna be your stiffest competition. If I had to pick a favorite, you know what? I'm gonna go for the underdog because nobody is talking about the Netherlands. They haven't been speaking about it.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Netherlands. Andrew Jones. Okay, did y'all know about the Netherlands? Okay,
I
yeah.
want to say
tough team,
they did make the
scrappy.
I want to say they made the semifinals back in
All right.
2017. They were up there. They made a little run.
So you know what I realized about the Netherlands, because I was like, man, they play baseball in the Netherlands. Turns out they do, but the thing is, their best players come from Curacao in the Caribbean. So that actually makes a lot more sense because I've never heard of the Dutch playing baseball. They have a league there, and there's some of the professional players are on the team and that play in their professional league. But a lot of the players come from Curacao, and those players from Curacao play in the MLB. And since Curacao is a Dutch territory, they count. So yeah, I thought that was I thought that was a little interesting because I'm like, what the fuck, like the Netherlands, and then it makes a little bit more sense because they're in that region where baseball is beloved, right above Venezuela.
Honestly, I think it was the smartest thing for the classic to put Puerto Rico and DR in the same pool. They already knew what they were doing there. That's a rivalry on its
Yeah,
own.
they're trying to get
They
ratings.
listen. That's gonna be a must go to game. You have to go to that game. You're gonna miss out. Like in that first round, I forgot 2 classics ago. It was PR DR in the final. That's when DR took it. They won the championship. Kudos to them. Last Classic 2017, Puerto Rico beat DR 2 times. We beat them 2 times, and we lost to Team USA in the final. But for this upcoming year, this is what our potential roster is going to look like. And we got some heavy hitters. This is why I'm feeling confident. And honestly, I don't even want to go over Dominican Republic's lineup because that's just an all-star team on its
Just
own. So
monsters. They
I'm
got
not even going to read
monsters.
their names. We all know who they have. So I just got to feel confident with my team and who's representing. So we got Carlos Correa, infield. You can play shortstop. You can play second base. Doesn't matter third
I
base.
have real quick. These
Yeah.
guys have pretty much like it's pretty certain that these guys are going to play.
Well, I'm
And
naming players that played in the last classic, so they're most likely going to represent again. Obviously, no one's confirmed right now. And there are a few players who are hit or miss with the Puerto Rico team because they're U.S. born or they're Puerto Rico born, but they represent the U.S. So we had a few players like that in the last classic that are like hit or
and
miss. I remember
also
like Stanton, for example. His like great grandmother is Puerto Rican, so he has some Puerto
they
Rican
tried
descent.
to. I remember that.
Yeah, he played for Team USA. So there's a couple players like that as well. But
Yeah, like I mean, he was more American than he was Puerto Rican. But I was going to say, like, real quick, like, how do players feel about playing? Is this something that they care to play, that they want to play? Is it like, is it treated like the World Cup, where it's like an honor, like you go and you play, like that's what you do, or is it
I
like
feel like for
Olympic
these island
basketball,
nations,
or is it like Olympic basketball, where it's like they don't really care that much, and they end up.
I don't think it has the gravitas of Olympics, but it is like kind of it feels like a fun tournament. Like this is you're going to go,
It's so they can't treat it like the World Cup, like you're going to go.
Yeah.
You're
well,
going
you got to think, right? Most of these players come from these small nations, and they try so hard to make it to the big leagues. And if you have any opportunity to represent your country and to play for them, you're wearing that your country's name on your chest. Like, of course, they're gonna take pride. Cuba,
Yeah.
PR, DR. Just to name a few. Like, yeah, the passion's there. They show it, and they represent every day in the MLB. Like, their heritage because they put it out there. Now, I can't say the same for USA because we know the top 10 players in the MLB, United States born, they don't really play.
They don't
show up.
Don't play.
Like, we don't see the best lineup for USA ever.
2017 wasn't. 2017 at the time wasn't that bad. Not so much from the pitcher standpoint. From the pitcher standpoint, no. But from the hit, like Stanton was there. You had Goldschmidt. You had I gotta pull up the lineup again because I remember just looking.
You didn't have guys like Bryce Harper. You didn't have Mike Trout out there, who was arguably the best player in the MLB at the time.
You didn't have Clayton Kershaw.
A lot of players. Yeah. So, but for Team Puerto Rico, Team DR.
But they still had some players though. Like it wasn't
for sure.
They had Yelich.
It is the MLB.
Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah.
Andrew McCutchen, Stan, like they had some guys.
So in the way, it's kind of like the like the NBA, how the NBA has been, right? Because we think of the NBA, the dream team. Those are like literally the best players of their time, of their era. They're like, yo, we cannot lose anymore. We send the best players. But now the Olympic NBA team is just like, they're good players, but it's not really the best of whatever the league has. Because these guys, they go on vacation, they go to whatever, Monte Carlo, they go to Italy. They have other priorities. So as far as USA baseball and World Baseball Classic, it's kind of like that. Like you might get some really good players, maybe good college players that haven't had a chance to shine. Maybe they're not all-star players among their colleagues, but they're solid players that want to go play because
some of them were all-stars.
That
and I think you're going to get a little bit of a mix. I do think they have more of a potential to being like a World Cup than they do like ending up like basketball Olympics, where people just don't really take it seriously because it is a more competitive. And I think what makes the basketball thing not like people kind of opting out of it is because USA has just been so dominant for so long. They've just only ever lost like once. And it's just like we can win without us. And the World Baseball Classic could still be really competitive. And it's not like we don't know who's going to win. And hopefully it can grow and become something like the World Cup, where it's like no matter what, you drop everything and you go. Granted, FIFA makes it a requirement. Like if you get called up, you have to play. Yeah. So maybe
we can see this year. I think 2023 is going to be huge, right? Post COVID, they delayed it. who knows? USA won the last one. That could have sparked more of an interest here in the United States as well. And look at where they're hosting. They switched up the cities. Miami's hosting, the semifinals and the finals. That there's a lot of culture here in the city. Depending on the teams that make it, what countries go, you're gonna see sellouts for sure. You're gonna see these sellout games.
I think so.
And Phoenix
yeah.
is a big baseball city. Phoenix produces like some of the most baseball talent in the country. And then obviously we know they host like half the spring training games. They have Judge, you've been to Phoenix. I don't know if you saw them, but there's like spring training fields, like stadiums everywhere over there. There's like 10 in like the whole metro area.
Yeah.
It's a shit ton. So it's a big baseball town. I'm gonna show off the world rankings right now as it stands currently. So you guys can see right now, Japan is number 1, Chinese Taipei is 2, South Korea is 3, Mexico is 4, United States is 5, Venezuela 6, Dominican Republic 7th, Netherlands 8, Cuba 9th, Australia 10th, Colombia 11th, Canada 12th, Puerto Rico 16th, Italy 17th, Israel 20th, and the final one is China 21st.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how they do these rankings. It's probably most of the players that, like when they compete for these leagues, like our MLB players aren't involved, obviously, with
in
what's
the qualifiers
going on right now. Yeah, exactly. But when you throw in these big names, oh man, everything's going to change. Like these lineups are going to be ridiculous. So real quick, again, back to my potential lineup for PR. We got Carlos Correa. He was actually first overall pick in 2012 by the Astros, World Series champ. He did participate in the 2017 World Baseball Classic when they got second place. Francisco Lindor, we all know him. This guy's showing out, second base. Javi Baez, he also participated in the 2017. These guys were super young, man. Those three
babies.
were the young core that played in 2017. Right now, it's 5 years later. A few of them won World Series. They're all multiple All-Stars in the league, kind of proved themselves. Yadi Molina, we all know Yadi, 2-time World Series champ. He's going to definitely be catching. It's probably going to be one. I think he's retiring.
Yeah, he got to retire soon. Yeah, he's retiring.
Yeah, this is it.
I think he's going to play, though.
He's going to play. This is it. Got Kike Hernandez, utility player. I think they're going to put him in the outfield, to be honest. He did win with the Dodgers before he got traded. So another World Series champ on there. Eddie Rosario, outfielder, potentially left field. He plays for the Braves, World Series champ with the Braves. And we got some pitchers in here. You got Berrios, Lugo, Diaz. Other players, if they decide to play for PR, are Renato, Springer, Stroman. So we got a pretty good lineup here. So I think we got it. I think we got what it takes. Right here.
I'm curious to see what USA's pitchers are going to be. I did see last time they had the biggest names I saw. They had Bumgarner at the time. He was, I don't know how he's played recently, but I remember at the time he was really hot. My God, I'm drawing a blank. Garrett Cole was there, but obviously that was before what he is now. Who knows if he goes back? The pitchers, I think, is going to be the biggest hit or miss. Getting extra wear and tear on their arm.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to see like a fully stacked USA team, like that'd be sick. I definitely see like an Aaron Judge going. I see Stanton going back.
I can see that.
I don't think so, man. He's off and on the field. He's hurt, man. I don't think.
Whoa.
It's a young man game.
Aaron, you talking about Stanton?
The Aaron Judge.
Oh wait. I missed Giancarlo. I missed Giancarlo with Aaron.
Oh,
I think he's going to go back. If he's healthy, if he's healthy, I think he goes back. I think he enjoyed it. I think he liked it. I think he wants to go back. I think it's going to be relatively strong. Obviously, like, man, I would love to see like I think Yelich might go back. I would love to see like a Mike Trout. That'd be sick. But
I think with the USA winning, it's definitely going to spark more interest in the current MLB players to represent their country. Man, think back then, guy. You had David Wright, Derek Jeter, like these Hall of Famers representing US in those past classics, and even they weren't able to win.
The first one was 2006,
which is crazy to represent your country. But I really do feel like this is going to be one for the books. 2023, March 2023.
You know what I hope to see too?
We're going to all the games, bro. PR versus DR, like I said, man.
I think the PR Venezuela game is going to be really good.
Think
Venezuela's. like people's like one of those like people don't think about Venezuela. Venezuela has the third largest population in MLB. It's
Yeah.
Americans, it's Dominicans, and it's Venezuelans. Like they have so many players. Their player pool is huge. It's right up there with USA and Dominican Republic, and then below that, it kind of drops off.
Yeah,
Um, so,
and
but yeah, they always seem to
for tournament,
underperform for whatever
yeah,
reason. Their
that's a
best
fact.
placing was in 2009 for third place.
Yeah, and these
Um,
tournaments really come down to pitching. The pitchers don't stay out as long. They pitch fewer innings.
Yep.
So you're gonna need relievers, and you're gonna need very good relievers in there once the starter comes out, and you need that key closer to finish those games off because anything
I,
can
I
happen.
I really hope Otani plays for Japan.
Oh, he will.
That
He
would
will.
be
I really hope he
He will. He
does.
has to. He
You
has
think
that
to.
would be
If he
dope.
wants to increase the profile, he has to, bro.
Japan right now has the most championships. They won the first two,
Yeah, they
2006,
have two.
2009. I think
Yeah,
because they have a really their league they're the second best league in the world, like right behind the MLB. Their league is really good. So like even though they haven't had as of recently a lot of Japanese players in the MLB, not as much as it was before, they still have a huge talent pool back in their home
yeah,
country.
man. Even the Yankees paid Tanaka a couple years back, way back, a shit ton of money to come out of Japan. He was the best pitcher in that country
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
So they have players.